Welcome to Big Balls Fantasy Football, the only show by real fantasy football fans, for real fantasy football fans. I'm your host, 20-year fantasy veteran, and unfortunately a fan of the defensiveless Chicago Bears, Greg Reifsteck.
And I'm your co-host, Jenilee Borek, a 10-year fantasy veteran, and I'm also a fan of the Chicago Bears, and it's a sad week to be a fan of the Chicago Bears.
Sure is. And together we are
the beauty
and the beast
of fantasy football experts.
So let's just tear through it really quick because it's almost like a car crash. I got lucky. I was on a plane coming back from Eugene, Oregon by way of Vegas, by way of vacation. So I was only keeping up on the Wi-Fi on the plane on the app, which was bad enough. But tell us about the Tin Horn.
Yeah, there was not much holiday cheer going into Thanksgiving week at Tin Horn at all. Zach Stacy ran all over us. Then their backup who came in because Stacy got hurt came in and got over 100 yards. I think we gave up 258 rushing yards. So it was bad, and we lost 42-21. So terrible game. Our first game of being blown out of the water too, but nothing went right.
Yeah, I mean, we're really lucky that for some crazy celestial reason, the Vikings and the Packers decided to tie, which now has made the NFC North like a super tight division. So,
and Detroit decided to lose to the Bucs.
Exactly.
So we saw that coming. But.
Yeah. Well, we'll get into Glennon in a little bit later in the show. But it's just really sad that we don't have a defense to be thankful for. We used to be so thankful for that. And it was good for 10 years, and then it went away. And the Rams game really proved it. I mean, the Rams. So there was an obit. Somebody was very clever on the internet and actually wrote an obit, generally, talking about the death of the Bears defense after 10 years. You know, I had Mike Lovey, who we have to give a lot of credit to. He cultivated that defense. We might have never had the greatest offense in the world, but at least we were thankful to have that.
Yeah, no, that was funny. You have to go on our Facebook page, facebook.com/bigballsfantasyfootball, and check out that article that he posted. It was hilarious. I reposted it on my pages. And, you know, I do think as Bears fans, though, we want it all. Because it's like this year we finally have an offense, and we've never had an offense. So we have an offense we can trust more to score points. I still wish they would score a little bit more, but it's definitely getting there. But, you know, here we are sitting complaining about our defense. So we just want it all.
You know, a lot of teams can get that. Why can't we? Why can't we? Damn it. It really sucks. But anyway, so as Jenilee always tells me, you got to be positive about things. Greg, don't be so negative. So this week, Thanksgiving, being the beauty of Thanksgiving week and the Charlie Brown special and football and fun and fantasy fun football. On top of it, we're going to talk about some of the things we've been thankful for so far this fantasy season. So let's go ladies first and give what you're thankful for.
Okay, well, I am in 3 different leagues this year, but I am thankful very much for Drew Brees in the biggest balls of them all league because we get a point per 10 passing yards in that league.
Who the hell set up that horrible scoring scheme? Yeah.
So because of that, Drew Brees is balling out, and he's half the reason I win some of the weeks I win. Do you want me to give my second one, or do you want to give one?
No, you go ahead.
Okay. And then I'm also very thankful for I have Brandon Marshall and Jamal Charles in the same league. And what can we say about Jamal? I mean, he's either the number 1 or 2 running back this season to have, especially in a PPR league.
You're in first place in that league.
I'm in first place. I have 10 wins in that one. So
you better be with the 2 of them.
And then Marshall is getting it done. He's almost at 1,000 yards. He should reach 1,000 yards this weekend, actually. So he's he's being B Marsh like always.
Yeah, actually earning your pay. It's actually a good thing in the NFL when that happens. Anything else?
No, those are my 3 main ones.
Those are your 3.
Yeah.
Well, the first thing I'm going to bring up, and she has a sore spot about this week, is I am thankful to be a spoiler in one of my leagues. And in a few leagues, I'm thankful for the spoilers because it is tightening up the race in the leagues. You have a lot of players that do well on your team, and it gets you to the top of the cream of the crop. You get your 10. And then, because there have been so many injuries this season, and because there have been so many backups in, you have people picking up players from the waiver wire, and they've been balling. So you have these scrappy, like bad news bears looking teams going crazy, and they're knocking down teams that, you know, they're looking for their like 10th win, and oops. Yeah.
Yeah, he actually beat me last week. I was in first place in another league as well, and he beat me with San Francisco's defense because Washington couldn't do anything in that Monday night game. And we were close, but him beating me knocked me down. So I'm still going to make the playoffs, but this is 2 weeks in a row in different leagues that he's beat me, and I'm not very happy with Greg the Beast right now.
Well, you're playing me and playing me this week again in a league, so you'll get your comeuppance, I'm sure.
I hope, but I'm going to be in the playoffs in all three, so I'm not stressed out.
Exactly. As long as you're in the playoffs, and actually you don't want to, we'll talk about this probably a little more on the podcast, which if you go to blogtalkradio.com/GRR and listen to our podcast every Wednesday night, we're doing it a little early for Thanksgiving this week, but we're going to talk about not only spoilers, but just the fact that, you know, the waiver wire is just still really, really ripe with players. And the playoffs, I mean, you need to be ready for the playoffs because if you're ranked too high, you have a target on your back. And just because you have 10 wins, that doesn't mean crap in those last 2 or
He's
3
just jealous.
or 4 weeks.
He's just jealous.
No, I'm in second place in 2 of my leagues, and I'm thankful to be in second because those little asterisks have shown up already. And I call those asterisks a target. I always have, because now everybody's like, oh, that's the guy we want a gun on. So.
Very true.
To not be too long-winded, the only other thing I'm really, really thankful for is the Packers are playing this week against the Vikings. Oh, no, the Lions.
The Lions.
Sorry, the Lions. Got confused. They're playing the Lions on Thanksgiving, and the Packers need to win to knock the Lions down to all the rest of our level. All the rest of us that are playing our backup quarterbacks as opposed to Megatron and Stafford and still losing.
Yeah, you know, and I'm so iffy on who to root for in that game, though, to be honest, because I feel like Detroit always finds a way to get in their own way. Yeah. Especially towards the end of the season and trying to make a playoff run. So I don't know if we should be truly worried about Detroit. But the Packers are the Packers. And when Rodgers comes back, you know, I just have a feeling that they're going to start coasting a lot more. And so I almost don't know. I think the Packers might be more of a problem or for us to worry about when it comes to the division title than the Lions. I don't know. The Lions just tend to mess themselves up. But, you know, the last game of our season is against the Packers, and Rodgers will probably be back. So, I don't know. I want both teams to lose in that game. It's just not good. So,
I'm going to go all big balls retro football here and just bring up, I brought this up on one of our retro shows once. One of my favorite football movies is Black Sunday. Black Sunday, ladies and gentlemen, not Black Friday, Black Sunday. And maybe, just maybe during this Packers-Lions game, somebody can have a blimp with a bomb in it and come and stop the entire game, and it won't count, and then everything will be just perfect. You know, both teams will have to leave the field, mass hysteria. I mean, we don't want that to happen to people on Thanksgiving, but maybe we'll be...
Bears fans wouldn't mind, you know, this game just not counting.
Exactly. So let's have something, you know, happen. Yeah. What an awful Thanksgiving thought. But that's why they call me the Beast. So anyway, let's bring on some more Thanksgiving cheer and some good picks, and let's get to Jenelee's Real Men. What do you say?
I got some good ones, and it's week 13, so, you know. It's down to the wire.
Lucky 13, week lucky 13. Stay tuned.